Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm getting us set up here. Give me just one moment. There we go. Hello, everyone. Let me add Nealay and Rachel Mallis.
Hi.
Happy Friday, friends.
Happy Friday.
How's it going?
I'm glad it's Friday. That's all I can say. I'm glad it's the end of my day, the end of the week, and I'm glad to share it with you guys.
Likewise. How are things in New York, Rachel?
Good. It's actually like I don't want to say warm today, but warmer than it has been. It's like I think it's like in the 50s. We opened the window and I was like, oh, it's actually kind of pleasant.
It's tolerable.
Yeah. Like it's window open weather.
I'm having trouble knowing what drink I want at this point because I don't feel like I've been awake that long. So I have like a coffee, but then I was also like, wait, it's time for a party. So I also have like this.
What is
Got like an upper and a downer there.
Like I want all of it at once. It's a rum cocktail, it looks like.
Ooh.
My dad decided for Hanukkah presents this year that he was just going to give us Rachel and I alcohol. So we just ended up with cases of alcohol.
I want him to be my dad. That is a good dad.
I think he got all the gifts at CVS, so he only had so many options. So he's like, I'll get him alcohol. He'll like the bubbles.
I mean, there's some good options there for sure. So,
welcome everyone.
I've got my Negroni in hand as well. Actually, this is more Campari than anything else, because that's really all I have.
Spagliato with Prosecco in it.
Mm-hmm. No, I didn't get to the Prosecco, unfortunately, so I had to just keep it to what is it called, like an American spritzer or something or another. But...
No, Nealay doesn't know about the TikTok trend, Rachel.
Oh.
Because I heard him order a Negroni multiple times in Tucson, and he doesn't know what the TikTok trend is.
No, I didn't. I didn't know people were putting other things in there and making it sacrilegious.
They interviewed, what is she in? Not Game, that House of Dragon or something, I think. One of the actresses, and she's like, what's your drink of choice? And then she's like, Negroni, Spagliato with Prosecco in it. So everyone's taking that sound on TikTok and subbing in other things. They're like, oh, what do you like to do in your spare time? And then they're like, sit on the couch at home in my pajamas. Basically better than that, but that's off the top of my head example.
I need to watch this and then add it to my Instagram, my reels on Instagram. I think there's something there. It's
a little bit of an older trend, but it would. I feel like people would still recognize it. It's not as older for TikTok, but it was a couple months ago.
Oh, that's so old for TikTok.
The internet moves fast.
They do. I know. I'm saying I feel so behind already, but we'll think of a new one. We'll make a new one.
Okay, let's jump into today's stuff. Welcome to our Tucson 2023 Showdown. We're trying out a little different format this time, and we'll get into a little bit what that looks like. But over 100 people have our Tucson kit in hand right now, which is wonderful. We actually have more kits if you are interested in joining in on the fun. You still have some time because you have until March 3rd to submit your design. So if you order now, we'll ship next week, and you'll still probably have a couple weeks to be able to get your designs together and email them in. I have all the rules to this competition in this video and on the website. Today, we're going to try to, where we're kind of varying from last time is we've got Rachel, Mallis, and Nealay here today. Oh, let me put your names on the screen so that you can kind of get some inspiration as you start working with your kit. So we're going to go through all the beads that are in the kit, and then Rachel and Nealay are going to have however much time we have left to make with the actual beads. We got Jill in the comments. We got all our friends here. Hey, Cindy. We got everyone here today. So I kind of want to jump right in if you guys are ready and talk through the beads in just a couple minutes, and then hopefully you two are ready to start designing.
Yeah, maybe.
Let me just take another sip of this, and then we'll see the creative juices. Will come. Yeah, they're gonna come out. All right. So, do you want me to flip to the products?
Yes. Nealay is gonna be our Vanna White today to go through all the beads because my Tucson kit got lost in the mess of Tucson. Of course it did, but here we are. Nealay has all of them laid out for us. So I thought we would start with our gemstone selections because it, of course, was Tucson, and we have multiple gemmies. So yes, Nealay has our first two. We've got the smaller
one. You start
one.
with one, and I will follow.
How about we do the Amazonite first on the bigger ones?
Is this a test? Okay, wait, this one.
So we've got a strand of faceted Amazonite, and one of my favorite types of Amazonite, which is the mixed Amazonite, because you get some of those yellow and warm tones mixed in there as well.
Oh, those mustards, though.
I'm
just loving that.
Yeah. So, and I love the faceting on these. They have a great polish. So I think those will be very fun to play with. And then the gems to go with that, we've got a really long strand of apatite in this really cool neon kind of sky mix. And these are very sparkly, as Nealay is showing off so wonderfully.
The apatite's one of my favorite stones. I love the teal tones that are in there. That's probably why, but These are excellent. I love the sparkle on these.
I've never seen apatite this sparkly before.
Yeah, this has a great diamond cutting on it that made it very sparkly. Also, yeah, Rachel, I feel like apatite's on your list of stone faves.
I love apatite. Yeah. One of my favorite colors. Yep.
For our next stone, let's do the red jasper, Nealay. So we've got a red jasper.
I don't know what I've got. Let's see.
You're nailing it, Nealay.
Say what?
You're nailing it.
Am I? Okay, I'm very self-conscious about this. I feel like you gave a test to Jill Wiseman a while ago, or someone did, and she passed all of the different stones, but I'm such an amateur to this. Anyways, I'll shut up and let you talk.
You're 3 for 3. This is our red jasper faceted tube focal. I thought it'd be nice to have a gemstone as one of our focals in this box, especially in this like warm, deserty red. I thought it would be gorgeous. And then there's one more gem, those carved howlite pumpkins over there on the right. Or I guess your left, sorry. I can't tell if it's mirrored. It's our 4th gemstone choice. So more of a man-made stone, but I loved the shape and I love that had that brown wash to contrast the white.
These are cool. I didn't know this was howlite.
Yeah, it's like a magnetite howlite sort of bead. And I'm a big fan of this shape. So hopefully, I'm hoping you guys are able to mix in many of the stones into your designs. And to go with those, we can do our check glass. So Nealay, your pick. You pick all the glass.
I'm gonna go with the table. Okay, table cut. Really being quizzed here, you guys.
We've got some really cool table cut ovals that have a mixed glass and a Picasso finish. I think these came out beautifully.
They're like a little ocean in a stone.
Yeah,
it was glass.
Oh,
it was Rachel's
really
idea
poetic way to put it.
More blue tones into our Tucson kit because I was going to go more into the warm deserty tones, and she wanted to add in some blue as well, and I really like that contrast, especially like this teal blue. So the other teal one we have is the birdie focal, which is a gorgeous check glass shape, of course, with a nice silvery wash going over that as another focal option for you. And then the other check focal would be the sun, the orange sun. We magically found this orangey one that had a blue wash. So it was like exactly the color combination that we wanted for the box. So we immediately picked that up. They're also kind of cool because the amount of Picasso varies on each bead. So some are more pink looking, some are more orange. And so everyone kind of has a little bit of a unique focal for that one. And what check do we have left? I think I see the drooks, the little drook mix we made, featuring some of the main tones of the box. We got the blue luster, champagne, and then like a dark amber glass all mixed up in a 4mm drook because we always love to mix in a spacer.
I just want you to know that I have been picking up every single thing and like going like this as if they can see that I'm also doing it. So, I just realized I was doing that. I'm like moving it around. I'm like, you can see it all right here. Why are you doing this? Like,
it's
I feel like if people had these
Rachel.
Same like setup and containers, this is kind of hypnotizing in a way.
I love these little trays. They're very cute. And let's see what we have left. What trays do we got left there, Nealay? Ooh, yes, we got a whole strand of some petal bellflowers, which have lots of possibilities of what you could do with these guys. And they also have that cool orange-pink combination as well to go with the sun.
Very pretty. Love. So they have a luster to them.
Yeah.
Almost.
They have a nice shine.
Yeah. Right.
They call those a stone finish. And then was just our metals and sea bead left?
Yep.
All right, we've got some Preciosa 10-0 sea beads in a metallic silver tone.
Beautiful.
For even more spacer options that are on the smaller side.
Oh,
so you got a nice full tube of those guys.
Mm-hmm. Love that. So these are 10-0, you said?
Yeah, they should be 10-0s.
Wow. Okay, cool. They're perfect size for my eye to see. Bead through.
And then lastly, we've got some wonderful components from our friends at TRCast. We have a pair of, oh god, the exact names of these. They're all from the same collection, the Dolce Vita collection. So we've got that pair that I've loved for so long, and a toggle in antique pewter, which is one of my favorite finish styles that they do, because they actually cast everything in pewter, and this is one that they then don't plate. They just antique it, and I think it's absolutely gorgeous.
I love that all of TRCast stuff is always double-sided.
Yeah, it's really smartly designed. They're actually not, and they're not the same on each side in this line. So you get some options of which you want to feature facing forward.
Mm-hmm.
Oops. And I think that's our entire Tucson kit. So Nealay's we have to make sure we don't go over our deadline. We can.
Oh, you guys are all right. It's just what I said earlier.
I'll set the timer for like an hour, and if you have to run, it's okay. But I think we should be able to squeeze it in.
We'll be
Do you have any questions before we jump in today?
No, I'm just concerned that I'm gonna screw up a design.
We want to see everything that your mind wants to do, even if it doesn't come out perfectly. We are excited to see what you can create, Nealay.
Well, and Rachel, I'm curious to see what she's gonna come up with, because we got basically the same stuff to work with.
So I'm gonna grab my timer here and pull up a full hour for us. Alrighty, are you guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
Rich, you can go ahead and flip your camera around if you're ready.
I forgot. I'm so used to having two cameras.
All right, it looks like Rachel's got her stuff laid out. I'm going to go ahead and set the timer, and we're going to begin our Tucson 2023 Showdown. Ready, set, you may begin.
Okay.
I'm hoping you guys will kind of verbalize some of your thought processes as we go through, like what you're thinking of you could do, just so we can kind of get a sense of where you like to start with your designing.
Totally. I started with cheating earlier, and I'm kidding. I did sneak a peek into the materials, and I had it early enough sent to me to kind of figure out what I could do with it, but then I changed my design in my head all the time. Now, Sam's did say that I could use SilverSilk because it's my crutch, and I do.
And your company. It is your company, so I wasn't going to tell you not to use it.
So I'm going to use that as sort of my base, and then I'm going to bead around it into some magical things here. But I feel like got to keep it simple and easy to some regard.
So you're going to be weaving wire into that pearlesque chain?
Not necessarily, actually. What I'm thinking is that I'm going to wrap around these apatites, like in a coiled fashion over here, and then maybe do a bit of stringing or some wire stuff happening here as the pendant. I think that's my game plan.
I see we got some potential mixed metal action already starting.
Is she already beating me? Oh my gosh.
No, I'm not doing it. I'm trying to figure out what I did with my head pins, my copper head pins.
No, you're the one who has mixed metal, Nealay.
Oh, okay. Gosh. Oh, competition scares me. Clearly, I get triggered.
So, for folks who don't know, I'm going to introduce Nealay really quick while he's getting going, and then I'll introduce Rachel in just a few minutes. So, Nealay Patel is an amazing designer who I don't know, I think we've known each other at least for about a couple years now, about-ish.
All our lives.
We officially met. Yeah, we actually have known each other since childhood. We are brothers. He's an amazing designer. You might have seen him you've been on JTV, right?
Yeah, I did bead baubles and jewels back in the day, and I taught at Bead and Button. I was on JTV a while ago. Kind of just been all
He's a
over the
close
industry.
personal friend of Oprah.
I
Will
mean,
you
I
show us
haven't
what you're
achieved that
doing?
status yet.
Will you tell us which product you're using here, Nealay, and what you're crimping onto it?
Yeah, I am using silver capture chain. I just started to replenish my inventory of it and ended up with a bunch of little scraps that I thought would be perfect for the color palette that we're working with today with Sam's Beads. So this is a knitted wire jewelry chain, and I use a copper plated wire. It's got a very strong plating. It doesn't, chip away very easily, and it's extremely flexible when it's knit and very supple. But what makes it the capture chain is it's got a little ball chain core inside of it, and it's machine knit. So all of the knitting is precise and consistent throughout its, spool. And yeah, I'm crimping it onto my custom end caps. These are single strand end caps that have little teeth inside of it. And so whenever I am ready to either end or attach something onto the silver silk, I'll simply just slide the silver silk in. In this case, I'm using a mixed metal color, but I've got my end caps and other findings. They're available in 6 different colors. But yeah, you just kind of put it in and squeeze it with your pliers. I'm using a pair of wide nose pliers, and they've been dipped in a product called Tool Magic. So it's got a very soft coating on the tips there. And it just helps to kind of keep everything non-scratched and, gives a good grip to the pliers so that I can easily squeeze my finding. And that's really all it takes. So like now I'm ready to kind of attach whatever I want to onto my design.
And what's cool about those caps is they're built so that it kind of hooks on to the ball chain really nicely. That's why it gets that's what Nealay is basically squeezing it onto, is there's little pockets for the balls of the ball chain to get crimped onto. So we get a nice secure connection there.
That's exactly right, Sam. There's little teeth inside of the end cap that grasp onto the beads of that ball chain so that whenever you do crimp it and you can tug on it, you can see how sturdy and permanent that is. So you don't have to use any glue or anything special outside of the pliers, of course, to be able to crimp it. You can use your chain nose pliers, but just be very careful with it because you're spending a lot of money on materials. The last thing you want to do is scratch it up, right? All right, time to get the beads out, friend. Here we are.
Let me to finish Nealay's intro. So now you've seen one of the product lines of SilverSilk. I definitely recommend checking out Nealay's website, silversilkonline.com. And he has 5 or 6 different lines. They're all beautiful design elements to work with. One of my favorites is the pipe chain and the flat mesh. We carry some of those at Sam's Bead Shop, and they're so fun to work with. The flat mesh is like wire ribbon. It's like the most supple, strong, beautiful material that you can use to finish off a piece, or so many more things that you can learn about on Nealay's YouTube channel, SilverSilk, on the SilverSilk YouTube channel. So definitely go check out Nealay if you're not familiar with his designs yet, because he is a wealth of inspiration. And it looks like he's already doing something fancy here. So what, it looks like you're already going for the appetite?
I am. I'm hungry, so I'm gonna go for the appetite. Satisfy everything about my creativity here. That was such a cheesy joke, but yeah, I feel like if I wrap and like kind of make a beaded bead out of it, that might be kind of cool, right?
That looks gorgeous. I love that it's kind of a similar size to the ball chain itself.
Yeah, it's got a good consistent weight to it. So one thing I wanted to add as you were sort of introing me is that Sam and I have been collaborating on products as well as video content for his mystery boxes. And so the stuff that's on his website, that's SilverSilk, is custom made for Sam's Bead Shop, and you cannot find that on my site. So if you're looking for specialty colors, specialty combos of the pipe chain, definitely hit that up at samsbeadshop.com for those customized products, but definitely the YouTube and other sources for inspiration in learning what to do with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got lots of links. If you go to below this video, you'll have all of Nealay's links, Sam's Bead Shop links, and Rachel Mallis's links. So definitely go make sure you check out. It just makes it a really nice, easy way to see what everyone is up to. You can go join Nealay's text list. You can join the Sam's Bead Shop text list just to stay in the know, because we're always trying to put out classes and inspiration. Like a week from today, Rachel Mallis will be teaching a class doing wire work with itty bitty beads. So if you don't want to miss that, definitely make sure you're on the Sam's Bead Shop text list. And the collaboration is always wonderful to do with you, Nealay. Nealay actually restocked almost all of our past collaborations for us. So those are coming back to the shop very, very soon now that we're back from Tucson. So if you missed out or wanted to get more of past month collaborations, I think we restocked all of them.
Ooh, perfect.
And
yes,
I think that's a good initial intro. Thank you so much, Neil. I'll check back in on you in a little bit.
That's good. I would like to have the pressure off by making the cameras smaller so that I can work.
Rachel Mallis, I'm going to switch on over to you.
Okay.
How's it going on your side of things?
Just choosing my least good skill to my newest skill to do on a time challenge. So hopefully I don't just break a ton of beads like I usually do when I try to do this.
You've been doing a lot more seed beading lately, right?
I have. I don't know why. I get hyper fixated on things, so I'm like, oh, they're seed beads. I must use them.
Well, because you said you already had a big stash, and you said just kind of start experimenting with them.
I have a big stash of seed beads that do not have a size on them, and also are vintage, and also none of them are the same size at all. So.
Well, you're always one for a challenge, I feel like.
They're not particularly useful. I've tried. They're really great for just making strands of seed beads or accents. But when it comes to doing precision work, not great.
So I would love to give folks a little intro about you. I'll tell folks a little bit to start, and then please fill in. So Rachel and I have known each other since maybe 2014, we think.
Yeah, I have invoices from you from 2014.
That's amazing.
And I thought that Sam was a really old man. He never posted his picture. He in the way that he would text, he would write LOL in all caps. He would use lots of emojis.
Still do that.
I thought he was a 50-year-old man. I was absolutely shook when I found out that he was younger than me.
Let me switch. Rachel just brought me a Tucson kit from the shop.
Wait, people don't use LOL in all caps, or if they do, they're old? Because I think I do that.
I feel back then, not as much.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely typed not like a young person when I first knew Rachel. So she's known the shop for a long time, and she taught many of the very first classes at the shop. So you can actually find recordings of all of those on our YouTube channel. It's kind of amazing, to little time capsule to see some of the first classes, and there's some great projects there of really cool wire work pieces that we did. Rachel came up with that are beautiful.
There's a lot of fun stuff on there.
And since we started doing the class, I feel like you really started doing more and more of your own jewelry business. will you tell us a little bit about Mallis Jewelry?
So I have been doing my own business. I have been making jewelry actually for close to 20 years, believe it or not.
Wow.
Maybe 20 years this year.
That's amazing.
And my jewelry business has gone through a long iteration of names, but I finally changed it. Actually, in like 2020, I started because I was at home a lot more. I wasn't at work as much. I started focusing more on my jewelry, and so I changed the name to Nealay Jewelry, which is a play on my last name, allegedly. My dad makes things up. Allegedly, our last name was Nealay at Ellis Island when my grandparents came, or my great-grandparents came to the U.S. from Greece. And my dad would always like talk about changing our last name to Nealay. Anyway, so I made it that, and I have been selling my jewelry the last couple years, both on my website, but more so in a group called Rainbow Gems Gift Shop here on Facebook. And we use a lot of gems.
Gorgeous. Like your featured stones is absolutely amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, it's exciting. It's a lot of making. I have 2 shows this month I have not started designing for yet. One of them is inspired by music, so they kind of left that open to interpretation. So what I did was I asked family and a couple of friends to pick songs for me to be inspired by.
Yeah.
So I have like a wide range of songs that I've now done this to myself. I think some people are doing just one song, which probably would have been a whole lot easier. Gems include Black Hole Sun, which I really don't want to listen to over and over. My brother picked it. I don't even remember who it's by. It's like Black Hole Sun, won't you come? I've heard it way too many times. They played it on the radio. I was like, seriously, that's what you picked? But I didn't want to be mean, so I was like, fine. And then one of my friends picked a 35-minute like concerto. She's like, it's got 4 waves or something. So
oh my gosh, a fellow classical music lover.
You know what's funny is I really thought she was going to pick something from Cats just to spite me. And then she came in with that, and I was like, I don't know. Okay, I didn't even know she really listened to classical music. She has a 1-year-old, so maybe she like is watching. Well, she doesn't really watch TV, but I feel like Baby Einstein had a lot of classical music on it. Anyway, I also have another show that's inspired by fairy tales, and I haven't decided if I'm going to do the whole collection on like the Little Mermaid, or if I have like the Little Mermaid and like Arabian Nights / Aladdin picked out.
How many pieces do you make for one show?
So it's 8, and then you can replace them if and when they sell. Oh my gosh, this was a screw top. You didn't see them explode all over my mat before.
Did you force that lid off?
Yeah, I like yanked it and they went everywhere.
Oh no.
And are you saying oh no to what I said, or
yes?
Okay.
No, there was no mix-up here, so I'm listening to you and sympathizing.
I was like, if not, I want to know what happened to make Nealay say "oh no" so loudly. I would do that too. I almost did when I the beads went everywhere. I almost yelled something else, but I restrained it. Yeah, so it's like it's kind of it's fun. struggle, with normal overachieverness. I always think like I have to reinvent the wheel for every show. So some of the girls are a little bit more able to just like have fun with it, and meanwhile over here everything takes me 2 hours. So
you've always been very dedicated to the project you're currently working on.
Yeah. When we first started this, the classes, Sam, it wasn't supposed to be classes. Sam wanted it to be a bead hangout. And then I turned it into classes because I didn't know how to just chill. Like,
I think
he's
other
like, we're
people
gonna hang out,
know.
and then I was like, I made this component, and he's like, you want to show him? I'm like, yeah, I thought of something for next class too. Suddenly it was classes.
That is indeed how the classes were born. I kind of forgot all that. That's pretty accurate. And now look how many classes we've done, and so many types of classes. I like that you take some of our classes. Like when Danielle does the seed beading classes, I love that you're so attuned.
I try. It's hard sometimes with my boyfriend's work schedule. I try not to be like on the phone, like watching stuff when he's home. Partially like so I can spend time with him, but also because he always interrupts me, and it's just love you, babe.
And I didn't
between
even
him
ask
and the cat, like
what stitch are you doing right now to put together your focal
sweetheart
here?
We've talked about this. I don't know. I'm doing
it looks like you're doing a bit of fringe.
Put some beads on the thing, and then put the thing and the beads, and I don't know what this is. It didn't turn out how I thought it was going to. I was thinking
it's
more
beautiful. Are you kidding
like
me?
This.
Like that's. But I like that
Jill
it's a little
says yes, she's
tassel-y.
fringing. Thank you, Jill.
She's fringing. Yes.
Yeah, I made where is it? I have it here. The thing I posted this in Gem Chat. But I didn't post a good picture of it. I have this. This was an experiment. I made this bail and I just like made it up. Can you see that? I have no idea what stitch it is. I know for sure I did some brick stitch. The rest is chaos, but I think it turned out really well. You can't really see it very nice on here, but I have black onyx along the top, and then the rest is seed beads.
Ooh, gorgeous. That's so funny. I was just chatting with Jill about seed beading donuts like 2 days ago.
Yeah, I'm usually like a wire work gal, but like I just that's mainly what I've been doing kind of with the seed beads, is just finding ways to like make focals more interesting, because there's a lot you can do wire work wise with a donut like that, but I really wanted to use the seed beads. And
I love the combination of those flowers with the red jasper. I think you've already got a really cool piece going.
I'm trying to decide where to go with it. I think I'm going to add the rest of the flowers because, why not?
And so just to round out your intro, so folks want to check out your shows, they should join the Rainbow Gems group on Facebook.
Yeah, it's linked in my profile, actually, Rainbow Gems Gift Shop. And we have like participation questions. So just say that you're there because I said to be there. I don't know. No pressure. But we do check and make sure people answer the questions.
Susie wants to know which thread you're using there.
This is gray thread. Give me 1 second.
Is it the wildfire from the shop?
It's wildfire. I was like, I have wildfire and fireline, and then I have some like mystery thread I bought. I have no idea what it is, but it works pretty good when I need a thinner thread. But this, actually, I don't have fireline. They're both wildfire. So this is wildfire.
Nice.
Danielle is an absolute sweetheart, and she sent this to me a while ago.
Oh, yeah. We love our Danielle.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, even though she didn't want to meet me at Bead Fest, it's fine.
She totally did. Rachel is rewriting history.
And it's like, where's Danielle? And Sam's like, she left.
Oh, right, because you arrived at Bead Fest like as she was heading to the airport with her entire family.
She couldn't have like held the plane for me. Unreasonable. I'm not asking that much.
So I've started, now Rachel brought me a kit from the shop that I could jump in. And of course, I also went for a medium. I'm not comfortable. And I started with hemp because I thought the tones were really nice, and immediately started having issues with hole sizes and all of that. With it did fit on with the Amazonite, but then the holes of the Amazonite are too big, and just I would have to. I'm not a knot person, so I'm not even going to try to fight that right now. So I switched over just to some lovely stringing wire, and I'm starting with a bracelet. Probably going to color block it just to get myself in the creative flow here. Because I know if I start more simply, it'll be a lot less daunting. And I'll have a bracelet, hopefully, pretty quickly. I'm trying to figure out what my favorite elements of this kit are. I really like the table cuts here. I love the birdie. What are your guys' favorites here?
I think my three favorites are these three.
Oh, hold on. Let me switch over to you.
The table cut, and the howlite. Surprising. I love the howlite. You know I like this shape though.
Yeah.
I love this shape.
So the apatite, the howlite, and then what was the third one there?
The table cut.
Oh yeah.
I really like this druk mix too, though. It's pretty.
Nealay, what's been calling to you right now?
You know, I'm in love with the palette overall, but I think the Amazonite, the apatite, and the seed beads, and these little petally dudes are my favorite.
The petally dudes?
The petally dudes. Just it's kind of all just trying to, I don't know, make them harmoniously come together. So, and it's one of those things that I really got to sit down and think about for a few days, but
you're on the clock today.
I'm on the clock though. Yeah, exactly.
I love the wrapping of the apatite into the sea beads. That is so phenomenal.
Yeah, it's easy, you know, it's just an easy thing to do that adds a lot of interest and texture to whatever it is. Because you don't have to use SilverSilk. You could do this with leather cord if you wanted to. And if you had a color that matched some of the gemstones or the copper, that would be really pretty.
I love those wrapped ends. Sorry, I haven't been looking up, but I love the way you did that.
Thank you. I'm loving the fringe tassel that you made.
Thank you.
I need to steal that for another project, actually. So
absolutely. I feel like I kind of got this idea, actually. I mean, like, okay, I reintroduced. So when I was like way in my beginning jewelry days, I had actually bought like a bunch of seed beads, and I was trying to do work with them, but there wasn't as much on the internet in those days, and I didn't really have like a lot of local classes or anything. So I was trying to make jewelry with sewing thread.
I've been there and done that. Wow. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Doesn't hold up very well. I mean, I guess unless you get it was not the nice like thick upholstery or button thread. It was like sewing thread my mother had in a tin for 30 years. So like everything broke, so I was like very discouraged. I didn't make those for that long, but I loved like the look of the fringy things. And then I was looking sometimes well, not just sometimes, but I like to see what people are doing with SilverSilk, so I'll look through like your class catalog, and I saw somebody like made something kind of fringy with it. I did watch it, but I don't remember. It was a while ago, so I've had it in my mind. And when I saw these flowers, I was like, those would be cool as like a fringy thing. And I was gonna do it with wire and head pins, but I honestly have no idea where those are. So,
what do you imagine for the rest of the necklace there, Rachel?
Sam, you know I don't know the answer for that.
Like, are you gonna?
I don't even know how I'm gonna connect it to the rest of the necklace.
It's so cool. It's cool seeing. I'm so used to seeing you do wire work. It's fun to see you in another medium as well.
You just
you do everything.
Rachel under so much pressure right now.
This is what I always do. And so I went to a ceramics club in college, and they're like, "Oh, have you ever done ceramics before?" And I'm like, "No." And they're like, "Well, what do you want to make?" I'm like, "I'm gonna make a teapot." And they're like, "You're gonna no, you're not." And I'm like, "No, I'm gonna make a teapot." And it was going okay. I don't remember how much of it I got done, but then the next time I went to the ceramics club was way too long after, so it had gotten too dry, and I was like, ceramics is not really my medium. It's a little bit too damp for me. Don't really like to get dirty, and it's just a little dirty.
Really? That's actually something I do appreciate about jewelry making, is that the medium is able to be destructed and still cleaned up and reusable at the end of it all. Whenever you do painting or something, it's not so much that anymore.
Like at most you can like paint over your canvas.
Right. Yeah, exactly. But you can't repurpose the paint that you used. And if you're, really into the painting game, you spend quite a bit of money on those materials, and you're not able to repurpose it if you use it up.
Yeah, the price of paint is just like insane.
Yeah.
When I was in art school, I had one teacher that always made us use gouache, which is like fancy acrylic paint, and these tiny little tubes. I feel like this is getting very tight, and I feel like something's gonna break soon. But anyway, these tiny little tubes of paint, they're like this big, like $7. Like,
oh wow. Yeah, stuff and that was probably before all of the price increases and everything. Could you imagine it now?
10 years ago, but
I feel like it's pretty common with jewelry makers that like folks will sometimes redo. We'll take pieces that they made when they were first starting, and then take some of those beads that they obviously like initially fell in love with, and then remake it into something new.
Yeah, sometimes. Absolutely. It's nice to have that option, at least.
Yeah. All right, I'm getting my bracelet crimped up here. So I feel like ever since I met Danielle, I've been obsessed with color blocking. It's like my favorite go-to design. I'm just like, if I have beads I like together, I still like seeing them on their own. Like even here, actually, I probably would have added another bead like the apatite, but I already crimped it, so here we are. And I don't know, there's something really nice about color blocking in design. I find.
Yeah, it's sort of my go-to for a long time. I think because it matches my minimalist preferred style for everything in life. But I love a good color block. It's such a great way to, I don't know, depict a bold choice that you have made that's pleasing to the eye.
And you can use it to like make a gradient of colors. Like there's a lot of ways you can do it. I think I just find it very pleasing to look at. Sometimes over to like a pattern of many beads together. Because I think I get overwhelmed sometimes trying to make the perfect pattern of all the beads need to line up perfectly. But with the color block, I feel like it's a little bit more forgiving.
Yes.
Or you just, I don't know, I don't think about it as much, so I don't get as stressed over it, and so I'm happier. Maybe that's the name of the game here, is what kind of jewelry can make me stress out the least? I was sitting on...
I mean, it's supposed to be fun and happy and kind of just, brings us to our zen in the day. So whatever anyone that submits a photo for whatever jewelry piece that they've made that makes them happy, I think that's a win already.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You're always your own worst critic. Like I said, I always try to like reinvent the wheel for everything. And even when I'm like not happy with things, people are always like, that's amazing. Right. So you're doing more than you think you are.
And I really do encourage folks, like, submit for the competition. Like, we really want to see what you make, and like, or just use that as an opportunity to get yourself making if you're in a little bit of a design ruts. Set your timer for an hour like we're doing here and see what you can make.
That's a good point.
And it's nice that obviously you get more than the hour, but like sometimes creative constraint is lovely to have.
Yeah, and then you don't spend 3 hours on the same thing.
You don't relate to that at all, Rachel, right?
Yeah. Don't spend 3 days on a necklace with the beadbox beads and then break one of the beads and have to do it all over.
Oh no.
Oh gosh.
The piece with the tiger eye center, 3 days. I had a show coming up and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna make a quick beadbox piece and then pick the most complicated thing in the entire world to make.
And then the bead at the last minute broke on you.
It did. It's because I like Danielle's method of not knotting. And so I try to get like the thread through like the maximum amount of times to get like the most tension. And the maximum amount of times that this was the time, like this was the last time I was going to go through that bead. Like I knew it was going to be the last time and it broke. And I don't, no. There's not a way that I have thought of yet to add another bead into that exact spot. So where am I?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Me too.
How fresh is that wound?
It's because I refuse to put it away, so I don't know where to put it. So it's just like on my desk, and I have to move it out of my way every day. Just be mad all over again,
It sounds stressful.
Just be mad all over again.
You can't see the rest of my desk, but like my desk is absolute chaos right now.
I think all of us understand. You're also not seeing the rest of my desk as well, and it's only decent because I fully cleaned it off around New Year's. Because
didn't you have somebody else clean it off?
Well, I had someone come to be moral support with me, and it because I was like, this is too big of a project. I'm clearly avoiding it. Want to come, and then we did it. We knocked out like 2 hours. It's amazing how quick it could go.
Oh.
All right, I'm gonna switch it back over to Nealay here. Whoa, Nealay, what do you got going on there?
I don't know. I'm kind of feeling a little cha-cha. So like I'm gonna have these little flowers that hang down, just give a little bit of motion and movement, but reiterating some of my elements or repeating them throughout the design and just making sure that I've got something well balanced. So, just not trying to overdo it by adding everything in, but just introducing elements that wake the design up without trying too hard. Hopefully that kind of, I don't know what my brain is thinking now. I've also had like a drink, so I'm feeling the juices here. Something's working.
It's a fun way to use those bellflowers, because I think sometimes the bellflower isn't the most obvious shape to put into a piece.
No, and I think they're a great opportunity to have some movement and motion in the design without, again, because it's part of the color scheme that you've picked out already, and it's just a nice element that works with the design. So I'm not trying too hard. I'm just adding it in where it makes sense, really, is my thought process.
Oh, it's looking great. And definitely feel like going to have some nice movement because of how there's little dangly dangle cha-chas.
I love that. The dangly dangle cha-chas. Someone hashtag that. Yeah, and then I've got the Amazonite working. They're just kind of squeezed in between that. I'm just doing some simple loops here to kind of, I did a Y-wrap loop, but it made it too long. So that wasn't going to work. So yeah, I'm just trying to keep them a little shorter.
I have an
idea.
idea.
You guys name your jewelry pieces? Like, is that still a thing? I stopped doing that a long time ago, but I don't know if people still do that.
I know some sellers that some of the other girls in my group that do like to name them, and they say it helps them like keep track of the pieces. And I'm like, I'm so thankful that's not a requirement, because I would sit there and like it would take me like absolutely forever to name things.
remember when we're naming things for all the classes? We still do that, but like, do you remember us naming things for the early classes?
Yeah, I'm like, what do you want me to call this? I don't know. Sophia bracelet, like.
We always came up with a name. I always like that we always found something.
It was a bigger deal for the magazines and articles that I used to write to have a specified name. And I think it just added kind of to the romance and the emotional part of, the design, which was kind of fun. But yeah, I ran out of names very quickly. Like my brain stopped working and I was like, what do I call this design?
Often, like when I do a class with Sarah, she'll have me. I'll she'll just have me name it. You got a name. I find it a lot easier to name other people's piece than other people's work than your own work.
So you'll give my name, my design a name then.
Yeah, okay, obviously.
Perfect.
Negroni Stagliata.
I love that. That's gonna stick.
Okay, you inspired me with the appetite idea, Nealay. That I'm gonna attempt kind of like a version of it. So I have. I kind of prepped a component here using the drops, and my goal is to wrap appetite onto this top piece here that just has some of the seed beads, and hopefully it'll become a little cluster of sorts.
I love that idea. I think that would be very dynamic.
So first I just got to get my ink. For folks who want to try this, generally I just got to get my wire anchored on first. So I'm going to go through the loop and give myself a few wraps. We can also always undo some of this later on. But now that it's pretty structured, I can start wrapping on some of the appetite. And we'll see what happens. I'm switching on over to Rachel, who looks like she's formulating something over there.
Yeah, we got to a pause point on the tassel piece. In that I did not leave myself a good way to make a loop at the top. I don't have really anything to run back through, so I'm just gonna think about that for a while. And now I think I'm gonna make like a really long necklace / wrap bracelet.
I hope you can add in that beautiful fringe.
Yes.
Absolutely not in this design, but I'll add it into something. This is my blue-green design. Orange has no place in it.
Right, so you're separating out the colors of the palette from
yes. I feel like there could have been a way for me to incorporate it, but being that I am just choosing to use these two beads for this right now, the apatite and the table cut, the orange is just not going to go with it, in my opinion.
And I mean, I think also like if you're thinking about like saleability of a piece, I know that there's some who are more in the camp of like more monochromatic pieces they find sell better for them.
Yeah, I sell a lot better with my monochromatic. Like personally, when I buy jewelry, like the weirder, the better for me. I love like focal pieces, but I have a series of earrings that I do that are like, we actually did a class on this it was like the second or third class, so you're gonna have to real scroll back on monochrome monostone earring designs, and that's a series that has always sold really well for me.
Wait, that was like one of the literally one of the first classes we did. That was a great one.
That's what I say, is way far back. But those are always so fun also to get you playing with size and shape and not have to worry about color. So you could just see what like fun things work. I don't know why I'm laying this all out. Like I could easily just string it onto something and it would be the same amount of time. Like
I like what you're doing. I love that pattern. And sometimes it's nice to not have to commit to a stringing just yet, you know?
I already know what I'm going to use. I think I'm going to do it like I have this bracelet. This bracelet, I put I got these magnetic clasps, and oh boy, if you thought crimping was hard, crimping a magnetic clasp. I sent a message to the other girls in my group, and I'm like, how are you supposed to do this?
Yeah, I had this having trouble.
You trap it between your fingers and then try to crimp, and I also don't like my crimping pliers. And
maybe a jump ring if you really want to make it a separate step. It's the best I could offer.
Maybe jump rings and I have trust issues.
Yes, come back to this.
Mostly it's just me with the trust issues. The jump rings don't care, but they're like, whatever, crazy lady.
Here's what ended up happening. I just kind of started wrapping freeform style with the apatite. And like it's a lot more messy.
Oh wow.
It's a lot more
are you
messy.
gonna make an earring?
Yeah, it's gonna be a little earring. And like I actually kind of like that it's not symmetrical. It has this like amoeba feel to it.
No, I love that.
Well, it's in motion, you know, it kind of just never stops moving.
Yeah, that's how we'll spin it. So I'm gonna do the same thing exactly again.
Anything that you can look at and turn around and it turns into something different, it's to me like that's a really cool type of design technique.
For the wire, for folks who want to do it, is 20 gauge. I did for the base wire, and then for wrapping, I did 24 gauge, using some of the German style from the shop. Oh, I see. Nealay is looking like we got headway over there.
You know, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I need to figure out what I want to do at the ends here.
We have 15.
Well, I would recommend some sort of clasp. I know you're not really partial to them.
I'm not partial to a clasp, so I'm gonna try something different. And
I will say that this box did come with a clasp, so
yeah,
kind of already chosen for you.
Yeah, you really have no
like all the stars are aligned for me today.
Yeah, I put that clasp in just for you, Nealay, so you couldn't say another clasp.
Oh my gosh, you guys crack me up.
But I get the clasp thing. Sometimes you need the right clasp, and sometimes you don't have it, and sometimes
it's like it doesn't speak to me sometimes, and sometimes I'm just really unprepared and don't have one most of the time. But today,
you just say the right one wasn't next to you.
I mean, I could, but I feel like my customers and my friends know me better, and they're just like, yeah, right. Like you just don't have it next to you.
Yep, sure.
And your lazy butt won't get up and go get it. So, all right. So, how many of us can we raise our hands? How many of us enjoy mixed metals? Because I certainly do.
I love mixed metals.
I like that bit. Same thing. Same.
Well, to me, it's just like a color that you're adding to the overall design aesthetic. And you're right, Rachel, that most folks that are buyers of jewelry seem to go with the monochromatic, and maybe because it's just easier to wear with their wardrobe styling. But I'm in the weird camp. I particularly love bespoke, unique designs that really just have something to say. Like they are kind of their own independent characters.
I think also like some people have more of a like fashion interest, and so sometimes you really do need like a monochromatic piece for like if you have like this really cool shirt that's in a color other than black, white, or gray. So
yes, true.
But then that like multi-color piece more so could be like you would design the outfit around that piece if you have a piece that speaks to you like that.
Yeah.
I do have it. Okay. I was like, I have silver jump rings, which I would have preferred. And I found them. I have like this. Okay, look, I have to show you this because it's stupid. I have this bead mat that is leftovers of things. So that's sort of what my other palette looks like.
Just in case you ever need a little something.
Yeah, I don't. Well, it's leftovers from projects, and I instead of putting it away like a organized person would do, I was just putting it on a bead mat because that's the easy way.
We all got a tub for those the stuff like this tucked away.
Yes, yeah, exactly. It's my like bead mat of shame, practically. I'm sure some unfinished projects are going to end up on there at some point. They haven't already. I digress.
I like I don't know, there's something that's really working of how the mixed metal seems to be helping with the color flow of the piece, like the silver into the blue into the copper.
Mm-hmm.
It's really
well,
good.
I think it's just the way that your color palette worked out too, because I would have not thought to put silver seed beads with the rest of this mix, but then you already had the silver components ready to go.
That's kind of, we picked them because we picked the pewter components. I guess we could have changed up the metal in the kit itself, but maybe we weren't feeling quite as daring as Nealay in the moment.
You're way too kind.
And also silver, like especially like sterling jewelry is like very common in Southwest jewelry.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of more embrace that side of things rather than like my go-tos, which would be like probably copper or bronze findings for this sort of palette.
Oh yeah. Put this down here. If Rachel's still creating, I am gonna see if I can knock out some earrings.
Yeah, we've got.
I'm never going to finish.
Well, designers, you have exactly 10 minutes on the clock.
Ooh, okay.
All right. Well, you better call Tim Gunn.
Make it work.
You know what? Sam's got such a calming voice. I feel like because of that, that's why I'm able to create right now.
Aw.
It's true. It's true, buddy.
Are you someone who generally likes designing on the fly?
No. I love a plan ahead of time, but
usually I'm able to just like bam, 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 whip it out. But today,
and I even tried to take away some of the competition component for this event. This is the main event to get folks inspired for the main competition, which is the whole community competing. But see, even that I've stressed you guys out.
I'm not stressed out. I think that actually, I think you taking away the competition aspect made me relaxed enough to go, yeah, sure, let's seed bead. Let's seed bead in an hour-long competition when that's not what you do every day. Absolutely.
I know, I was shocked. I switched your camera. I was like, oh, Rachel is not wire working right now.
Nope.
Oh my God.
I really hope you can add a loop to that fringe design because it's gorgeous.
I'll figure it out. I just I can't, I got to think about it because, usually you need to go back through things and I've gone through a lot of the beads a few times already, so I don't want to make it too tight. So I've just got to kind of figure out how I want to do this to where I'll be able to go through it enough times to make it secure.
Yeah. We believe in you, Rachel.
Yes, for sure.
You have our support.
Thanks, guys.
Also, we got a whole lot of seed beaters in the group. If you ever want to phone a friend, we can add a last-minute rule.
I'm not really good at actual seed beating. I'm really good at this is probably not the right terminology, but okay, I feel like I'm the type of person you come to when you want a ghetto fix for something. You don't come to me when you want to know the real way to do something because I will not tell you the real way. For example, in my old apartment, I had an air vent on the ceiling and the screws came undone and the air vent was falling. And my friend came over and he glued some toothpicks in the holes and then re-screwed the screws in there, and then it started falling again. And I was like, all right, I'm going to fix it my way. So I put duct tape around the air vent and I put some thumbtacks in the ceiling and it never fell again.
This is similar to the types of tools you like for your jewelry making as well. This kind of aligns.
I'm just amazed by all that. I mean,
yeah, I'm like, grab a Sharpie.
I remember when you were fixing your AC yourself also.
Yeah, I was cleaning it. And then our super was like, yeah, they don't really want residents taking apart their air conditioning units. And so the next time it needed to be like cleaned or whatever, I was like, hey, our thing needs to be done. He's like, just do it yourself. And I was like, you told me not to. You told me not to take it apart. I love taking things apart. I take everything apart. Like,
all right, how are folks doing? We're in our last 5-6 minutes here.
What? I've only got a half an earring done here, but I think I'm gonna.
But you have a whole necklace.
I mean, yeah, but I didn't seed bead stuff as intricately, I feel like, so I didn't really dedicate too much time and creativity as much as you did.
I would disagree. I think that it is very creative. I love the way you wrapped around the SilverSilk with the
Rach and I are big fans.
Beads.
You guys are so sweet. Maybe I can get this one earring done in time, I'm sure.
I was trying to think of, have you ever done like, I don't know how you would do it, and I don't have it. I haven't like I have some SilverSilk like in my boxes next to me, but like, have you ever done it where you like loop over the end and like make it? I feel like that would be cool if you could like make it like a button clasp, and then you never have to buy clasps. You just have to buy buttons.
Indeed, there is a tutorial where I showed how to. I think I used a tiara cast button, in fact.
They have some really cool buttons.
Yeah, it kind of inspired that idea, but essentially, like I used a loop like this, in fact, and then strung my beads or whatever off of this. So like I'll just use this as an example. And then you can use a bigger bead or a button to loop through this as part of the clasp. So it'd be very, very easy to do that for sure.
I remember you experimented trying to turn a coin bead from a past bead box into a clasp, but I remember it was kind of an experiment day. Do you remember that?
You know what though? It worked because I remember this. It was like a square cut bigger bead from one of your boxes, and I think it had good stability. I had to use 2 double strand end caps to kind of make it work, but it did. I was sort of pleasantly surprised.
Well, because I remember watching that and it got me inspired because the drilling does matter though. It seems like the reason the button works is because you attach it from the center, and so I remember once I saw that, I wire wrapped a coin bead so that, and basically fashioned a shank that came from the center here in the back.
Oh, yeah,
and then it just had a pretty good stability from because of that.
Cool. Okay.
I also don't know if we're talking about the same tutorials, but I just remember watching. I was like, oh wait, that's cool. I want to try something like that.
I mean, that's what it ends up being anyways. It's somehow something spins off into something else. It's because we're all inspired by each other at the end of the day.
This is true. Gosh, how many bead people do you think you saw in Tucson?
Oh my gosh, I don't know, but it was life-changing. I will 100% be going back again.
It was your first Tucson, right?
Yes, I didn't know what to expect, what was going to be open, who to talk to, who was going to be there. To have Jill Wiseman as my traveling partner the entire time, it was so everything cool. So unexpected, but just perfect. I mean, there was nothing of the trip that I would take, redo or resent. It was absolutely perfect. I do resent not having more bag space. Maybe that's probably if I could. When I go back next year, I'm going to have an emptier bag for more beads, and more money to spend.
I was really wondering how you packed your bags without me, Sam.
I know. We came with empty bag. I should have told you to slip right in there.
Oh no, I meant because the way I repacked all your bags last time you were here.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I see what you're saying.
I'm really good at packing.
Well, Nealay helped us. He crashed with us on the last night, and
that was memorable and so fun.
We had to pack up all the extra beads, and he was on a mission.
I mean, I had to help out somehow because y'all were running around at the last minute. I was like, I need to do something.
I kept telling Nealay, I was like, no, you just relax. There's a hot tub. You whatever you want. And he's like, no, I'm helping.
Well, no, because you guys were frantically running around. I was like, let's just all get done and we can all just enjoy food and stuff together.
And then we
like
did
a little family.
And then we did indeed have a group hot tub hang.
That was so fun.
How was the weather there?
It was actually on the cooler side. Because last time I was there, when it was April Tucson, they like moved it later. So this year it was a lot cooler.
You know what though? I dodged a ice storm here. And when I got back, it was sunny again. So
wow, well timed.
Yeah, it was good timing.
Who did you bribe to get that to happen?
I don't know. I just like this is where all the stars and everything aligned and things fell into place, is that I was with the most happy, beautiful people, and I managed to also miss an ice storm. So 2 positives.
All right, let's see how we're doing on time. We have 44 seconds left in our
okay.
Well, I wanted to put on.
I'm not finishing my last piece, but I'm just going to keep going. I've just been working on some components that I'm going to just dangle from a necklace. Because I really want to get that birdie bead involved.
Ooh, I have some head pins that I can make into earrings. I'm going to do that. Can I do that in the next 15 seconds is the question.
Yes, you can do anything you set your mind to, Nealay.
That's true. I'm going to do it. I'm doing it right now, but I'm doing it off camera because that's less pressure. There, I made them.
Let me see here. Oh, you guys hear that?
I was like, you're getting a phone call.
Yeah.
Let's see. How do I change that? Okay. Alrighty, friends. Please put down your tools. We have come, or the time is officially up.
I actually don't think I've used any of my pliers other than to like cut the string.
Alrighty,
well, I guess
let's start.
Sorry.
Shall we start with Nealay here? Rachel gives you a few seconds if you need to finish anything.
No, I mean, like, nothing's going to happen in a few seconds. We're good to go.
All right. Nealay, will you please present what you have completed? Oh my gosh.
Sure. I made a necklace using the apatite seed beads, these beautiful check flowers. We've got... Oh, Sam, I think I failed your test because I forgot what this guy is.
Your little red jasper.
Red jasper, thank you. And some Amazonite, and did some wire coiling with 26 gauge wire. In fact, can I flash the product on camera here?
Of course.
It's the Soft Flex antique copper color, just to kind of go with the copper and silver theme here. Of course, finish it all with my tiara cast component, and then decided to whip up some quick earrings just because I had a little bit of extra material left over, and I had to use these little drops from Tiara Cast. So like a double strand end cap on this one instead of the single strand end caps, which were these. So I just made a simple little loop and some danglies. Called it good.
Well, it has such a nice cohesive feel from the all the pieces together, because you mix the cool tones of the silver with the warmth of the oranges. So I think it all feels like really belongs together.
Yes. I feel like I want to start singing Mariah Carey's "We Belong Together," but I'm going to not do
Aww.
that. I'll pass the baton on here to Rachel.
Rachel Mallis, you are up.
Okay, so I have this tassel. Not sure where we're going with it yet, but I am pretty happy with it. I think I like it better. Like I like it better this way. And then I have this necklace that I am thinking I might take it off and like add some more apatite in between each one of the table cut beads. Just to make it a little longer. But I'm kind of thinking actually that I'm going to do it like this, where the clasp is the focal, and then also hang maybe some like apatite and the seed beads in this fashion off of the clasp, I think. Or maybe with some wire. We'll see.
The necklace almost has like a floating look to it to me, because the seed beads are like almost like become invisible. Like, you know what I mean? Like the blues stand out so nicely that they feel like they're just getting all this spotlight there.
Yeah, they're really pretty together.
Are you imagining like a longer piece? I can't quite tell how long that is.
Yeah, this is pretty short right now. So I'm imagining it a lot longer. So I think I'm probably gonna end up. I have, they say design in odd numbers, so I have 3 apatites in between each table cut bead right now, and I think I'm gonna increase it to 5. So that'll give me.
You're gonna restring.
Yeah, we'll cry about it later. This is why everything takes me 8 hours. Okay.
All right, here is some of my. I had a chunk of the hour. Let's see. I'm losing my light, but I got my bracelet done. Nice, simple color block bracelet. I love that sort of style. Got my earrings as well with the apatite clusters, and then I just kind of was starting on some components that could become some nice dangles from a necklace. Probably using a whole bunch of the apatite on the necklace itself. So that's where I'm going so far with my Tucson competition kit here. It was really cool to see the directions you guys went.
That is absolutely beautiful.
Thanks, Nealay. Yeah, so I hope this gets folks inspired and gives you a little reminder, if you have the competition kit, that you should start designing with it if you have not already done so, because you got 20 plus days to get your designs done and emailed in. Please make sure to review.
20 days to finish this.
Yeah, you have 20 plus days.
Perfect. I will use all 20 of them.
I will get the ball rolling and snap some photos and post it into the group. If you're cool with that.
Yeah, and then email it to us, because we're going to post a whole album of everyone's entries after March 3rd. We're going to post all the entries. So please make sure you read the rules of the competition. It's 1 photo per person, and there's some general guidelines of making sure you're using enough beads from the kit itself. If you don't have a competition kit yet, we have about 50 kits left. So, well, at least there was before we started today. So maybe there's fewer now. If you go to samsbeachup.com, search Tucson, you can pick up a Tucson kit for yourself, and you should still have time to be able to design. Or if you just like the palette itself, you can purchase one as a little bonus bead box of sorts. Also totally valid. Let's see, I think that's the main thing competition-wise. Nealay, what do you have coming up that you want to shout out?
Yeah, I've got a collaboration with a good friend of mine coming up on Monday. We're calling it For the Love of Beads. Sort of a nod to Valentine's Day, but also just kind of an open-ended design. Kind of like what we're doing today. Just we're beading together as friends, right? And then we've got our collaboration coming up toward the end of the month. For the new bead box and some new SilverSilk that we made together. And yeah, there's a whole plethora of things but the of course, the schedule escapes my mind.
Well, what's the best way to stay in contact with to know what's coming up?
That's a great question. The texting is probably the #1 best way. You can sign up for our texts, and you can find that on silversilkonline.com for information on how to get those notifications.
And in the description of this video, I have all the info.
Oh, yeah. The description. Yeah, check out the video description for that information. Definitely follow my Instagram at SilverSilk and more, as well as the YouTube channel. And give those videos a big thumbs up for both Sam and myself, because the YouTube algorithms read all of that stuff and make our videos important and gets them in front of people over on YouTube that follow all of the creative channels. So that stuff's important for you guys to do if you can for us. Otherwise, I'm on the Facebook at SilverSilk and more, and my little group called the SilverSilk Silkies. We're not chickens, but we are still fun.
Well put, Nealay. Rachel, what do you got coming? What do you got coming up, and what do you want people to follow?
Well, coming up, I have my fairy tale show and my. Well, they're not my shows. Other people are in the shows, so it's not just me. And the Inspired by Music show. And you can follow along with me. You can sign up for my email list on my website. I don't ever send them, but I really want to send them.
Exactly.
So if you sign up for it, you may get an email at some point in time.
And Rainbow Gems itself also has an email list, right?
It did.
Okay.
We are putting the email list. Nobody was reading the emails, so they were opening them, not really reading them. They were a little long, but we're hoping to reformat that anyway. Or you could just like friend me on here. I accept most friend requests, even when I shouldn't. So, you totally can friend me on here. Side note, I've gotten a lot of questions about my glasses. These are actually prescription. They are from a website called Zenny, and I would highly recommend using their website and not their app, because the app was more difficult for me. It took me a really long time. Anyway, I really like them. Yeah, they're huge, and I spent my contacts money on beads, so I bought some glasses. So
they look great. And the first thing I noticed today was like, "Oh, we just got new glasses." They're
yeah, I got them really nice to encourage me to wear them. So
they look lovely. So
but
we have to wrap up. Nealay has dinner plans, so we can't get in the way of Nealay's dinner plans. So don't forget to check out samspeechhub.com. Today begins enrollment for the March box. So if you're not subscribed, you can get subscribed. I will be sending out some updates for year 3 of the bead box. There is a price change coming, so it won't be a total surprise. Just a few dollars as we head into the new year in a new world. So I'll send out a note on that very soon, because March is our 2nd anniversary for the bead box, because we've now sent out exactly 24 bead boxes, which is crazy. So March starts year 3 of the bead box that launched now exactly 2 years ago. So lots of updates coming. If you want a Tucson kit, that's at samspeechhub.com. And more info from Jesse and I soon, because we are going to be launching Sam's gem box, Sam and Jesse's gem box, very, very soon after so many requests.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Is it is it going to be like every month?
That's the idea. At first, it's not going to be a subscription, we don't think. So lots of details to come. Jesse and I are going to be working on finalizing what the first box looks like and what gems it'll have, because we got a lot in Tucson for it. So lots of fun things coming up at the shop. We're very inspired from Tucson to try out all sorts of new things. So just make sure you're on the Sam's Shop email list to get all the updates, and you won't miss anything. Rachel, Nealay, thank you so much for doing this. It's been such a pleasure getting to hang with you and see the beautiful things you make. I always leave so inspired and want to go make everything you make. So thank you for sharing your inspiration. Rachel looks like she wants to say something.
We're going to do earrings similar to this next week.
Ooh, let me.
Ooh.
Shouting out our class in a week. We're doing large hoop designs. Those are gorgeous.
Beautiful.
So look forward to
I
that.
love large hoops. Yes.
I think that's the next class on the books is a week from today. So everyone, we'll see you next week. Thanks for hanging with us today and have a lovely weekend.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye,
Thanks,
everyone.
Sam and Rachel. See you guys next time.